Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News. In this video, we've got Johnny DeFilippo seated next to Nick Viall and his girlfriend Natalie Joy at the People's Choice Awards, and then some choice comments spilling into it after. We're going to get into this whole story in a minute. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals for stand-up show updates, and also patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes bonus content. Oh, you might notice my aggressive shirt. It says, "Ask your mom if Santa's real." Anyway, Christmas is here, folks, and we have a lot of Christmas stuff to talk about, including we have a new vlog, Surviving New York City. As you guys know, I went to New York City last week, and here's the vlog, baby. You can go watch that on my wife's YouTube channel, Tasha Courtney. It's aggressive, it's fun, you're gonna love it. Now, the more important thing going on out there is this year I decided to do a charity specifically for people in need within our community, and that means going directly to the source, supporting single moms. Last year we raised money for Toys for Tots and raised over $10,000. I think we raised more money than any other Bachelor-related charities combined, to be completely honest. I don't know anyone else is doing this. So I reached out and I said, if there's any single moms that need help out there, we'd love to share your Amazon wish list. And I got a ton of responses. I already had to close it. We've already got about a dozen responses. So anyway, here's the first letter I got, and we're going to be featuring her Amazon wish list. Hey Dave, I've been following you for the last couple of years and love your YouTube channel. Been at home with a sick kid and recently watched a video where you mentioned sharing 12 single moms wish lists. I know you probably get a ton of these. I do. And you probably won't get this, but I at least had to try. I'm a single mom to a 7-year-old girl, and it would mean the world to me to get some help. I work as a special ed para. What does para mean? Teacher, and don't make a lot of money, so any help would be greatly appreciated. With gas and food prices increasing, I haven't been able to get very much. All right, her birthday also happens to be the week after Christmas. So for day one, we're going to be featuring the Amazon wish list for Lainey. And if you click on it and add to cart, you're going to see this thing right here that says A. Hollis's gift registry address. Click it and it'll go right to the source. So anything from an $8, very simple gifts. If you ever, had any girls or wanted to and never did and want to buy them something, a t-shirt, Play-Doh builder, simple stuff from our community. Much appreciated. Save some room for the 12 people coming. We're going to have 12 people here. So save some room, buy some things here, and just keep that charity and that love going. We appreciate you guys immensely. All right. So anyway, let's get into this story. Johnny clapped back when it came to this sort of storyline being projected by Nick Viall regarding Victoria Fuller, lack of cheating, no emotional cheating, that type of thing. Johnny said to Nick, "I appreciate you speaking for me, Nick. Glad y'all got your facts straight." Then he deleted that. And now we have Johnny being seen with Nick Viall at the People's Choice Awards. We're going to get into it. Let's share some other people that were there. We have a very Cruella de Vil look here from Rachel Recchia. And if you're listening to this on Bachelor Rush Hour, you'll just have to go to the YouTube channel to see the photos we're talking about. And here's Natalie Joy sitting next to Johnny DeFilippo. Do I see like sexual chemistry, some tension here? I mean, he's like the bad guy. She's, and then anyway, he's got a very snugly fit sort of turquoise felt sports jacket with a black turtleneck, looking good. We've got Sarah Hyland and Wells there on the red carpet, Gabby, Wendy on the red carpet, and then there's Johnny again, looking good. Don't smile for us, Johnny. And there's Johnny's ex, Rachel Recchia. So Johnny's not only there with two of his exes, but he's also there with current arch nemesis Nick Viall with girlfriend Natalie Joy. Are they going to be getting married soon? No rumblings there. So anyway, there's Gabby again and a full body of Johnny. So Johnny's coming out looking pretty good. So let's go to Nick's stories here to get the full sort of scope, the full aroma of the drama that was stenching over at People's Choice Awards. Beautiful selfie from his girlfriend Natalie of them at People's Choice Awards. Let's see. The pre-show was hosted by Aaron Lim, I don't know who that is, and Nick Viall. So that was kind of nice that he got to host a pre-show. Here he is. Let's listen.
People's Choice Awards Day. I will be with Aaron, hosting the red carpet on Twitter, interviewing your favorite celebrities. So let us know who you want us to interview the most.
All right, so they're hosting the red carpet on Twitter. So there they are, the red carpet. If you've never seen these, living in Hollywood, it's so funny because normally you just get to see this beautiful image. But what there really is these like garbage bag looking backdrops, a whole ton of lights, and they literally have carpet companies. We call it a red carpet, whatever this color is, purple, that literally roll it out. They vacuum it all day, and then there a whole bunch of like onlookers that are excited to see Ryan Reynolds. So there he is. The first photo that drew the internet crazy was over here, posted by Nick, that said, "My table partner at Johnny DeFilippo." Now, if they're playing games here, and I believe that they are, Johnny's doing a great job of playing the straight man here, saying he's not smiling, he's not pretending to be chummy. If this was some sort of weird scenario where Johnny shows up and didn't realize his seat's next to Nick, then yeah, you could understand the look here. But chances are Nick, being sort of like hosting and able to maybe control how many people he gets at his table, he knew this would be good business, and it is, to get idiots like me talking about it. Of course, we are.
And about a month ago was the one that really.
So let's just keep going forward here to some. Who is that? I don't know. All right, there they are. So Ryan Reynolds, co-owner of the Wrexham football team, there with young Natalie and younger Nick. And there's Natalie, his choice every day. All right, good seats. And then there they are afterwards getting a photo. This is just like, it feels like a weird country band, doesn't it? Where like Johnny's the cool, aloof drummer, but he used to date Natalie, so they don't talk anymore. Nick's the front man who found Natalie. Natalie was, again, this is all fan fiction. I'm making this up here. And anyway, Nick, I wouldn't call this barrel scraping, but this is one of those stories where I get to have fun with it. You know what I mean? It's like harmless enough where I get to have fun. So let the guy enjoy his life. Anyway, Nick posts Switzerland, which of course is the idea that Switzerland is a neutral party to maybe other warring states. We would call that Canada, but Switzerland, not exactly true, because Nick obviously fully supports Victoria, so he's not Switzerland. Switzerland would be, I'd like to think I'm Switzerland, but I'm probably leaning on Johnny's side. So either way, I would not dare say I'm Switzerland, but for sure Nick's not here. But either way, that's where he's at. So that was posted, and then of course the comment section's doing well. Game of Roses Pod says this is AI generated. Johnny D. Filippo says still not doing your podcast, which is probably the funniest line ever. As far as economy of words goes, the shorter the burn, the better. He could have posted this long thing, but he goes, no, not doing your podcast. It was perfect. Everyone knows, what it is. And then, geez, some people go rude and classless, just like your girlfriend. It's like, chill out, Fancy Gap, chill out. Anyway, someone said you wouldn't get the Victoria edit. That's for sure. If I were Johnny, I would probably do Caitlin Bristow's podcast or a more neutral party. I think if Johnny did Nick's podcast, Nick would make it a point to try to not be completely biased. Like, I think Nick would make it a point to try to see Johnny's side, even though, he's probably, as we've seen from him defending Victoria in his comment section, he's pretty much set on what he believes. What's really interesting and mature of Johnny is to go forward with this bit, whatever this bit is. I don't know the inner workings on how they got to it, but clearly Johnny was a part of this bit. And he's taking it on the chin. He's collaborating with Nick, who's got a much, much bigger following. And I think it's a really smart move for Johnny. For Nick, too. It's good traffic for Nick, but it's not going to grow Nick's following. But for Johnny, it's a good move. It's like, look, the mess is already done. He's already had to deal with all the rigmarole and the BS, which is this whole fallout. Might as well, get some photos and let the internet decide who to stick with. It's very much a, Team Jacob, team, whatever. You know what I mean? Picking sides. So Natalie says still Team Fuller. And, of course, Natalie's not Switzerland. She is Team Fuller. Other people have said, Johnny, you're too good for Victoria anyway. Hang in there. It's one of those things. Victoria, we're happy for if she finds love with Johnny Grippo. Oh boy, these Greg DeFilippos. There's a lot of names here, folks. We're trying to get through it. So anyway, that's pretty much where it ends here. Somewhere Nick responds. Let's see if we can get Nick's response here. Nick responds to Johnny calling him chicken shit. Which is totally fine. And then someone said, what, are you scared of Nick? No, look, Johnny, maybe somewhere down the line can go on Nick's podcast, but there's something about the allure and the mystique of Johnny not speaking on Nick's podcast that leaves things up in the air, I think. We'll never get their true timeline. I think if Johnny does go on Nick's podcast, it'll create more drama because he's obviously he's gonna stick to his story, and it'll be kind of a he said, she said. And then we just have to look at Johnny versus Victoria and who people actually believe. But of course, a lot of Victoria's response was more so along the lines of, if someone called you the C word, wouldn't you throw a wine glass at them type of deal? And it's like, well, let's just rewind and get back to the beginning here. Where did the fight begin? And it's one of those things. It's like looking at, a nuclear wreckage and going, well, where did the fight begin? It's like everything's decimated here. What's interesting is if Victoria cares that Nick is, using the Johnny Victoria breakup for fodder, because that's what this is. This is fodder. I'm okay with it. I'm happy to make a video about it. I'm happy to look at it and do all this stuff, but it's purely just fodder. If Victoria were really upset, which we just saw her crying the other day, on the podcast, on Nick's podcast, you would think Nick, as good friends with Victoria, would have more tact to not invite Johnny, assuming he invited Johnny to the table. Now, if he didn't invite Johnny and things were bad, they just wouldn't take photos with each other. But that's where they're at. And read a couple of your comments here. Some people have said, someone said about Johnny, this has to be his reaction to Nick's 12th ask to be on his desperate podcast. I wouldn't call his podcast desperate. I mean, it's pretty successful. Why is Johnny even there? Like he looks confused, but I'm confused what he's doing there, and it seems awkward no matter why they seated him next to. Seat him by Nick, it's awkward. Seat him by Gabby and Rachel, it's awkward. If I was Johnny, this is the absolute last table I'd want to be sat at. How many times do we think Nick has asked him to be on his podcast? So anyway, someone said Johnny's outfit is giving Star Trek. Yeah, Johnny looks like a cool Star Trek character right there. Beam me up, Johnny. All right, folks, that's the video. Again, link in the comment section for the Amazon wish list to support our Mom of the Day for Christmas this year. And also, don't forget, you can click right over here to my other vlog video to see the Christmas-themed vlogs. If you love what I do, I would appreciate it if you would go support my Christmas vlogs. Everyone who watches them loves them. They're very different from this content. It's highly curated, fun Christmas music, and our activities as we see them. All right, folks, we'll talk to you in a bit. More content coming your way.